Darin, Steen here from Fat Loss Lifestyle Online Training Program. You can gain muscle and lose fat at the same time or not. It's whatever you believe in your heart of hearts. About 15 years ago, I started to finally believe that I could gain muscle and lose fat at the same time. No more bulking up and cutting down and losing muscle mass and dieting. I'm going to show you how to do it today, bringing to you Gain Mass on Your Arm program. Natural mass, drug-free hormone, PED-free for life, 50 years young, starting to get a double peak bicep on that left side. The right side's starting to come in as well. My guns are about 19.5 inches after workout. I'm not bragging to you. I'm only trying to impress upon you that you can become a better version of yourself as well by following some tips and techniques that I've learned in the 3 pillars of the Fat Loss Lifestyle program: nutrition, mindset, exercise. I only got a few minutes here, so I'm going to share a couple tips in each of those pillars and show you a couple of my favorite arm exercises. Nutrition. You got to understand that more protein doesn't mean more muscle. Steady amounts of protein, but we alternate the amounts of carbohydrates, starchy carbs. That's where the magic happens. What are starchy carbs? Bananas, rices, oatmeals, potatoes. We might even go with some faster release ones for some people. Everyone's different. Some dextrose to shuttle in the glycogen and the glucose and the creatine after an intense weight training session to help with that recovery. That's really important to get that a mindset that nutrition is vitally, vitally important. Mindset, number 2 pillar. You got to believe that it's possible. You got to raise that glass ceiling in your mind of what's possible for you. I've had about 50 to 60 victories on the physique competition trail since 1989 after my football career ended. We don't believe we can do it. Your body will not go where your mind has not already been. You got to see it in your mind. You got to visualize it in the theater of your mind that it's possible, have little victories along the way, and constantly raise the bar, the glass ceiling in your mind of what's possible. You got to have a goal, a precise goal with the most reason why you want to accomplish that goal. Short term, medium term, long term. What I find works real well for myself and my clients is 1 week check-in with a waistline scale weight and a 6-week body composition test and retest and a 12-week. Those are nice length of goals. 1 week, 6 week, 12 week. We can share more about how the Fat Loss Lifestyle goal setting strategy works at a later time. Exercise. I want to show 2 of my favorite ones to you right now. Standing Arnold concentration curls, some people call. All right, here's my version of it. Pick a medium-sized weight so that you can work on the mind-muscle connection. Be mindful of the biceps. Squeeze water out of a sponge. You stand here, most of the weight's on my left foot. I bring my forearm parallel to the floor, and then I drive my elbow down, and I squeeze that bicep, that double peak, as I bring that pinky head a little bit higher, nice and slow and controlled. Bring that forearm parallel to the floor. At that point, focus on driving your shoulder and your elbow down through the floor, and bring that pinky dumbbell head up towards your chin, and get a nice squeeze on that double peak. Slow, drive that elbow down. That's really key. Don't just sling heavy weight from the bottom to the top. Slow, right there, drive that elbow down, And one technique that's real effective on any bicep movement that you do is twisting those lower arm bones, bringing the pinky higher than the thumb, squeeze on just about any movement. It totally changes it up, but you got to go medium to lightweight so you can be mindful of the squeeze in the bicep. So go ahead, it's the pinky higher than the thumb squeeze coming up. I'll try to get 2 or 3 more reps here in a more fatigued state. So you can sort of see the type of focus and intensity that you need. 2 and 1. Nice. Last one. You can even give yourself a self spot. The key is driving that shoulder and elbow down after you get about halfway up, forearm parallel to the floor. To get a real unique squeeze. So that's a little bit of a unique spin on the Arnold standing concentration curl. My tricep, that's probably my favorite move for bicep. One of my favorite moves for tricep is standing overhead. All right, this is medium to lightweight for me, but you want to pin that arm right next to your head to give that upper arm some stability and drive that pinky head higher at the top. Look in a mirror, be mindful, get visual and see the lines in the arm, in the tricep. If you see the arm in the mirror, you can get your mind in there and squeeze a little bit better. Get a nice deep stretch to the bottom, trying to keep that upper arm pinned against the head. I know I get made fun of a lot about making noises at the end of a set. Whew. But I can tell you, get a nice deep stretch down at the end, and then maybe come out of it like that. So overhead single arm dumbbell extension. Here's some keys with exercise. Getting the last 2 or 3 reps that you never thought you could get with a little bit of a mental spot from a friend, or if you're by yourself, you got to dig deep inside, and a little bit of a physical spot. You can give yourself a physical spot just like you saw me do on these 2 exercises. Do less better, 2 or 3 sets to failure. Getting the mind and the muscle going to absolute failure, getting those last 2 or 3 reps that you never thought you'd get is way more important than going 5 or 6 sets with a powerlifting mentality and trying to go heavier. Muscle confusion. I got about 10 to 12 different unique techniques on bicep and triceps that you can do at the end. Pinky higher than the thumb. Stop halfway and hold it in the contracted position, and then get a nice slow 7 to 10 second negative down. There's all kinds of unique techniques that you can do. Little pulses in the mid-range of motion at the end of the set when you don't think you have anything left, and then getting a nice slow negative down. Another one that I like is to get blood in the bicep is a negative. I can give myself a negative by bringing the after the set's over, bring the knuckles to the forehead, and then here, and then giving yourself a slow 10-second negative and resisting and giving it everything you got. If I got a partner, I'll get a towel, I'll get on a bench, and I'll have him pull down, and I'll try to resist everything I got for 10 to 15 seconds. That's going to get some blood flow in there. Another thing that a lot of people that aren't into physique competing or natural bodybuilding don't get is the power of squeezing. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Looking in the mirror, squeezing, isometrically squeezing. It's really, really hard. It's perfect for muscle confusion. It's very intense. It's very different. If you've never done it before, you'll be sore the next day. And most of you know that if you do something different and the muscles haven't felt it before, you get sore the next day, that's an indication that as long as you're focused on recovery nutrition, you have a chance of gaining muscle and losing fat at the same time and taking the muscle, the body part to the next level. Posing and squeezing, very important. Getting blood flow in there. Using a lacrosse ball. Stretching. Stretching the biceps, very difficult. Stretching the triceps, not so difficult. That's a decent tricep stretch that most of us know about for the triceps. But for biceps, you need to get this angle here, get the knuckles against a ledge, and then lean forward so that you can get a stretch in here. Stretching at the end of the set, of the exercise session is very important when your muscles are really warm, really hot, got a lot of blood in there. Lengthening out those muscles because you're contracting to lengthen them out, get some extra blood flow in there, some fresh blood in there to get the lactic acid out of there to start the healing process. There's some of my best tips, but the main point is that as long as you sign up and put your first name and email address in the Fat Loss Lifestyle box below, you're going to be in tune, and I'm going to communicate to you about our program, Gain an Inch on Your Arm, and 6-week program. I'm really excited about it. As far as posing and squeezing the triceps, just simply locking the arm down straight, trying to bring that thumb out, and just looking in the mirror and squeezing it. 4, 3, 2, and 1. I say about 5 to 6 to 8 second isometric squeeze at the end of each set once you're halfway into the program. So those are just some of my tips off the top of my head really quick in the 3 pillars. But the main thing is join below. If you're already in the Fat Loss Lifestyle, you've been getting my weekly emails, then you're already locked in. I'm going to inform you of the Gain an Inch on Your Arm program. So there you go. Darin Steen from Fat Loss Lifestyle. You do have the power to change to make the rest of your life the best of your life.